Hi guys, it's SimLicy here. So welcome to another apartment renovation. So today I'm renovating this apartment, which is located in the Arts District of San Myshuno. I forget exactly the address, but as always, it's in the top left-hand side of the screen. So if you want to place it in your game, that's where it goes. It is the apartment where Salim Banali lives. And I decided to renovate this time to be a studio apartment that was a bit more on the rougher side, kind of. I mean, it's not meant to be like a really gross, dirty apartment. It's just a bit of a rougher apartment, and the decorations aren't as pretty as maybe they could be. It's just more of like maybe a realistic style, if you could call it that. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to go for something that was just more mismatchy, and the apartment just isn't like the most fancy put together clean apartment. It has some quirks to it, some cracks in the wall, some like, well, I mean, it is a fixer-upper apartment, so it does have like the pipes and the mouse holes, and it'll get roaches and all of those things. So it's just, you know, that kind of apartment. I hope you guys will like it. Anyways, I was inspired by a picture that I saw on Twitter. It was shared by Freezer Bunny Cowplant, and they said, fun fact, Murphy beds were actually planned for city living but got replaced by talking toilets. And I thought that was really interesting, and I really liked the picture that they shared, so I will link that in the description. I just really liked the art style of that picture, and I just wanted to see if I could kind of recreate something similar to it. It's not identical. I didn't try to copy it necessarily. It's more the essence of it and a few different like elements that I liked about it. So yeah, it will be linked in the description in case you guys are curious what picture I was looking at. But yeah, what really struck me about it was all of the clutter items hanging from the wall, like the oven mitts with the spatulas and like all these like various clutter items that I really wish that we had in game. But I did notice something else was these hanging coffee cups. So I decided to play around with the tool mod and make some hanging coffee cups myself with the coffee cups that came with Get Together. And I have mentioned recently how I'm thinking about doing a tool mod tutorial. Now, I'm not like super comfortable using it. I've only used it a couple of times and have been playing around with it. So maybe after I'm like play around with it a little bit more, then I'll do a tutorial, because I do want to share it with you guys. I think it's a very handy mod. It's really cool, and I think there's like a lot of possibilities. So I'm just kind of now, I mean, I have downloaded it before in the past and played around with it, but like recently I've been like, I guess, taking it more seriously. So yeah, I will definitely be playing around with that a little bit more, and then I will share a tutorial or a little overview on how to use it, what I think about it, and all of that kind of stuff. But I will put those coffee cups on the gallery, so if you guys would like to have them in your game, you do not need the mod to download them. You just need the mod if you want to recreate something like that yourself. But to be able to have them in your build, you can just download them and they will work just fine. If you do, however, try to move the coffee cups and you're close to a surface that they would snap to, they're going to snap back to their original access point, where they're like their snapping point. And so you might want to keep that in mind if you do want to move them. I would move a counter out of the way, a shelf out of the way, and then you should be, you know, any table, basically any surface, I would just move those out of the way, and of course have move objects on, and then you could move them around if they're not exactly centered to where you'd want them to be. So that's something to keep in mind, but other than that, they seem to work great. And I am using this little trick again with the pillows like I did in my last apartment renovation, and I am obsessed. So the last apartment that I did, I used a twin sofa, and so it's only a two-seater, and I did the pillow trick, and I ended up deleting one side of the pillows before I uploaded it to the gallery because it really didn't work, and it was so frustrating. I think I couldn't get it to work at all with the pillows because the two-seater didn't have anywhere for the sim to sit down. But if you have the three-seater, the sim will sit in the middle and then scoot over to the side that you clicked on. So that's really cool. I still haven't played around with it with two sims and maybe do some like cuddling interactions or something like that. That might affect it, but with a single sim, everything worked fine. And for this apartment, I was kind of imagining that a single sim lived here, maybe a student or something like that. I even considered for a while putting this apartment in my save file and then having Salim move back to his old apartment, because if you guys didn't know or you didn't see that apartment renovation, I decorated the apartment across the hall for Salim, and I did it more of like a fancier style. I think it's a bit more fancy. And I was gonna go along with this story that I wanted to leave kind of as a surprise, but I'm gonna explain it to you guys so you guys can maybe give me some feedback on what you think I should do, because after doing this apartment, I love it, and I think it's a better version of his original apartment, and I still think it's like in line with that same theme and style, but it's more in my style, if you guys get what I'm saying. So I don't know, I'm thinking about moving him here instead of across the hall, and maybe leaving that one empty instead, because this is going to be one of my empty apartments. And oh, speaking of that, in my overview of my starter houses, I didn't go through the apartments. I did mention it in that video, but I still got a few questions asking about it. The reason I didn't go through them is because I am going to have so many apartments. There's like one in each district, and I think 2 in the arts district, and so it's just like, I don't know, I didn't think it was that necessary because there were so many of them, and plus I do so many apartment renovations that if you don't like the empty ones, you could easily replace them with another one that I've done, or it didn't seem as significant as like a whole house build to like showcase in a video. So hopefully you guys understand that. But yeah, this one I do have planned to be empty for your Sims to move into, and then I moved Salim across the hallway, and the storyline that I was gonna go with was that he had a girlfriend, I think a fiance that he was engaged to, and I actually already created her, and I'm going to kill her. So dark. But I was thinking that they were engaged and they were in love and all of that kind of stuff, and something unfortunate and tragic happened, and now the reason he is, I don't know if it makes sense, because I don't know, I was trying to make the fancy apartment work, but he's kind of like this lazy writer guy and he doesn't get much done. So I'm trying to figure out a way that I can make it make sense in my head. Like he had some inheritance or something, and I wanted to add a bit of drama with like his girlfriend. And I don't know if you guys like that idea, if maybe it's too much and I should just kind of leave him alone. It's just this kind of lazy writer in the city and maybe have him live here. And if you guys think that, let me know, because then I'll just move him into this apartment, because I love this apartment. I think it is so cool. It's like really decorated. I think it's really fun. I love the brick. This brick that came with Realm of Magic is so, I think it came with Realm of Magic. I think I'm not mistaken, but I love this brick so much. I want to use, like, we have so many good bricks in the game now. I feel like for such a long time we just had like the base game bricks, and then we got a couple with City Living that were pretty nice, and then like the ones from Dine Out. But like recently the brick textures, like the ones that we got with Realm of Magic, I think we got another one. When did we get some other bricks with Get Famous maybe? I don't know, I'm forgetting at the moment, but we have some really amazing bricks, and this is one of my favorites. But here I am merging some chairs into the bed just to make it look like it has a different headboard. I tried adding some pillows, but I couldn't get anything to really look the way I wanted to, at least with this bed. So I just left the headboard, and I liked these chairs because they're kind of in like this plaid pattern. So it made it almost look like maybe they are pillows too, and it matches the bed because the bed has the plaid bedding. So yeah, I thought that looked pretty nice. And then over here I do make a little laundry nook. I thought about leaving it open, but then I didn't really like the way it was looking open. Maybe if I was to add an archway, it would look better, but I do close it in and put a door here instead. I wanted it to maybe look like a shutter door, but I didn't really mess around with it too much, and I just loved the red washer and dryer. I thought that was so perfect, and it tied into the picture that I was looking at, and I really like that little laundry room. I think it's so cute. And then there's a desk in here with a fan next to it, and that fan object I always forget about. It's in electronics in the like miscellaneous category, which I feel like is a really weird place to put it because it's not a functional fan, it's purely decorative. So I feel like it should be in decorations somewhere. Even if it's functional, I still feel like it should be in decorations. But either way, I just add these shelves above the bed, and I clutter those up. I put some baseboard heaters, which I thought was kind of nice. I like adding those in apartments. And yeah, other than that, I think this is basically it for the apartment. Of course, I'm just cluttering up the shelf, and I just absolutely adore it. I love how mismatchy it is, especially after just finishing the Land Grabs Mansion, which will be up very soon. I finished editing it. Now I just have to go through and playtest the build, take the screenshots, and do the voiceover. So that should be coming up sometime by the end of the week. It'll be a 2-part video because I spent hours and hours on their mansion. It's humongous. It's gonna be like 2 30 to 40 minute parts. So yeah, it was a very long build. But anyways, we are coming up on the screenshots. I hope you guys have enjoyed this apartment renovation, and I hope you guys do enjoy the screenshots. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!
I know that you're curious, I know that you're strong, but life can be furious and things can go wrong. You go, we're better off tomorrow, but who knows if we get joy or sorrow. Stay true to that fire in your heart and your soul. Don't drench your desire in what you can't control. We fly, try so hard to get there, and we might be lost but not forever. There's things in life you simply need to know. But sun and rain and trust in letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering, before you make it safely to the end, the end.